This is the Theon Design Restomod 911. Close your eyes and picture your dream 911. For me, it would be something like classic looks and modern driving abilities, and that's exactly what we have here. This is the Theon Design Restomod 911. And of course, you can see it looks a little bit unusual, all wrapped in blue. That's because it's come straight from their factory, straight to us. So this is the protective film. This car is going to be having our level 2 detail, and then full design. This car, we've never worked on one of these before, and they are all hand built, full carbon fiber body. So we're going to design the PPF, and of course we're going to install the paint protection film as well in this video. And then at the end of the video, we're going to go round, show this car in all of its glory, not wrapped in blue, but instead looking perfect, and show you all the nice little details on what is a very special bespoke car. So here is the finished result, and hopefully you'll agree that it's absolutely stunning. But you might still be wondering exactly what is this here. This is a Theon, which is a Restomod, and a Restomod, for those of you who don't know, is a car that has been both restored and modified, hence Restomod. But Theon say that their ethos goes beyond that. They don't just restore and modify cars, they enhance them. So they take the original Porsche 911 experience and enhance it in every single way, so it's still truly recognizable as being a 911 from Porsche. However, it has been improved. This particular car from Theon, who by the way are a small company here in the UK in Oxfordshire, this particular car is GBR 002. What that means, it is the second ever car to have been produced for Great Britain. They of course are based in Great Britain, but many of their cars, many of their customers are overseas. So this is just the second one that they've made for someone here in Great Britain, and what a stunner it is. This car is finished in oak green metallic, which we all know is a very popular PTS Porsche colour, and wow does it work well here, especially of course after our level 2 detail and full car PPF. You may have heard it before, but I'm going to tell you again, our gloss PPF actually enhances the gloss factor of whatever your paintwork might be. So in this case, the oak green is really popping after the work we've done, no less because of the lovely contrasting champagne Porsche decals down the side. Really nice touch. Another nice touch that I'd like to point out, this wing mirror is a beautiful piece. It's actually designed of two things. First of all, the shape of a bullet, and second of all, this entire design inspiration came from the wing mirrors on the 991 Speedster concept, which you might have seen. So this car has things that are taken from all generations of Porsches, all the way up to the latest 991, of course, just before the 992. Something else to point out is these beautiful Fuchs style alloy wheels. Of course, if you're going to do a classic Porsche, any kind of 911 Restomod, you've got to have the Fuchs wheels, and these look great in a sort of champagne colour, again to match the decals, sitting on the Michelin wheels. But enough of things that you can see, because you can see that and think it for yourself. Let me tell you about the things that you can't see. The entire body on this car is carbon fibre. So if we take the camera close up in a moment and show you, you can actually still see the weave of the carbon fibre through the paintwork. A lovely touch, nice attention to detail. So the whole body is carbon fibre, but the shell within is based on a 1992 Porsche 964 Carrera 2. So that's what Theon do. They take a donor car, in this case 1992 964, they strip it down to the bare metal, and they even go to the extent of doing things like removing all of the spot welds that were the perfect standard for Porsche in the 90s, removing all the spot welds and changing them to seam welds. Something that you'll never ever see, but it makes the car much stronger. So they take the shell and then they wrap around it this beautiful bespoke carbon fibre body, and it leaves us with what we have here: wide arches, stunning lines, a proper classic look. Then of course the engine is back here. Beneath here is a 4-litre flat 6 engine producing 406 horsepower, and Theon say that every single car they have has a different engine tuned exactly to the customer's requests. You can have smaller displacement, you can have supercharged, you can have turbocharged, but here we have naturally aspirated 4 litres producing 406 horsepower, and this car weighs quite a bit less than the original 964 thanks to many things which I'll touch on in a moment, but that means it's a little over 1100 kilograms, so that gives it a better power to weight ratio than the latest 992 GT3. That is seriously impressive, and with the 6-speed manual gearbox you know that this will be an absolute hoot to drive. So I mentioned weight saving. Theon really do leave no stone unturned when it comes to attention to detail on this car. First of all, look in the engine bay. It is a work of art to behold within itself, but they go much further than that. On the 964, the donor car, there is a rear windscreen wiper, which of course this classic 911 look doesn't have, which would mean there'll be a housing for the motor down here, which is part of the shell. However, they did not want to disturb the symmetry of the engine bay, so they even went to the lengths of engineering that wiper motor housing out of there. Likewise, the original 964 has miles and miles of wiring in it. I think over 10 kilograms of wires in the 964. Such is the way it was over-engineered, over-complicated, as Theon liked to say. Instead, they take all of that out and replace it with aerospace-grade wiring, which allows this car to be over 100 kilograms lighter than the donor car, and of course, much more powerful. So I know that all of you want to see inside the car, because of course the attention to detail does not stop at the outside. Inside we have a beautiful interior, completely redone again, but you can still tell there's touches of 964 in there, such as some of the switches, the dash and so on, but it is a proper retro Restomod feel. So we've got muslin leather on these Recaro bucket seats with woven green and blue Alcantara in there as well. A really nice touch, of course, all completely bespoke to this particular customer's wants. And then looking over here, we've got the Nardi deep dish steering wheel, bespoke made for this car as well. 3-spoke steering wheel, which Really engaging, really responsive feel when driving a car like this. And then of course the green dials, which are a nod to the classic 911s. And then that huge metal gear shifter, which is connected to a 6-speed Hewland gearbox, which is derived from the Carrera RS gearbox. Other things from the Carrera RS, the brakes as well as a bespoke differential. So this thing really is, from the ground up, a bespoke build, tailored exactly to whatever the customer wants, whatever the customer needs, exactly how they want it to drive, but still keeping that original Porsche feel. So more nice details in here. You might look at this and think, it's just a random piece of leather, but this is actually a wireless phone charger, so you can sit your phone in there, it holds it perfectly in place while driving, and it charges your phone, and of course it can connect wirelessly with Bluetooth to the car, but they've done it all in a super discreet way, so it still looks retro, it still looks original if you will, but it's got all the latest modern conveniences. And speaking of modern conveniences, on the 964, normally the air conditioning, the power steering, they're positioned above the engine in the back, heavy power draining pieces of technology, because of course they're from the 90s. Theon have redesigned those, moved those to the front of the car, much lighter, use much less power from the engine, and with them being in the front, way better weight distribution. So this car drives so much better than the original. So in the back, Theon went for the kind of bucket style rear seats like you might see in a Porsche 928. However, much better than that, because the back bulkhead is made of carbon fibre, they were able to set them much further back. So these seats are actually usable. People with legs are able to sit back here. It's pretty impressive. Even in the boot, we've got exposed carbon fibre weave, quilted leather again, and then this beautiful satin carbon sheen down the side. So every single little detail, no stone left unturned, all really, really nice. And of course a plaque down here that says Theon GBR 002. So why did we decide to do a video on this Theon car? I think we share a lot of values here at Topaz with Theon. We leave no stone left unturned, and we believe in true craftsmanship. And each of these cars takes 18 months to produce, over 6,000 man-hours. So believe me when I say that this car is bespoke and built to the highest standard. And of course, it's been a pleasure having it here at Topaz. We washed the car for you, detailed it, patterned it, because these never worked on one of these before, and every single hand-built car is a little bit different, so we needed to make sure that we had our PPF patterns fitting exactly, and then of course protected the whole car, ready for the customer to take it away and enjoy it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.